Bitcoin is still just chilling, just ranging around this $64,000 range. And I'm still bearish, but by the end of this month, if we get a monthly candle close above a certain point, I'll just say $63.7 thousand, we could flip bullish here. So let's go over Bitcoin. Now, this is the daily chart for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just ranging. It's coiling within this wedge here, and it is still maintaining that support level that we want to see hold by the end of July, which is represented by this blue line here, which is the 55-month exponential moving average, which is currently right now sitting at $63.7 thousand. If the end of the month of July comes and we are above this line, we have turned a bearish macro line of resistance into support, and we can start to flip bullish here. However, if we end the month of July below this line, it is a bearish retest, and we have probably a couple more months of selling to go, which we can see clearly on the monthly chart because the month of June sliced through the 55-month exponential moving average. And if the month of July ends below it, it is simply a confirmation of this being resistance, and we have at least one more move down lower to go before we can see the end. But like I said, if the month of July ends above that resistance line and turns it into support, you could totally see a rally up to almost $80,000. Now, zooming in on the 8-hour time frame, how wedges tend to break is if you have a fake out. This was a fake bullish breakout, and let's just say this rally here had gotten back above and held this line. That is almost always a bullish breakout, okay? You have a fake out and you get back above that line again. It is almost on that second attempt, always a bullish breakout. Or if this were reversed, it would be a bearish breakout. But because it held as resistance, it does look more likely than not that this is actually set up to fail. However, if we get above this line again and we hold it as support, again, same rules apply, you are about to have your bullish breakout. Now, getting off that chart and coming to the CoinGlass Bitcoin liquidation heat map, if we go to the 3-month time frame, so we're looking at futures contracts that expire in an additional 2 months from now, so 3 months total, we can see that the biggest payday in the market is right here at about $76,000 or so. This is a $250 million worth of liquidations, and it is the brightest point here. So Binance is incentivized to try to get to the market higher to get these contracts. However, when we zoom in on the 1-month contracts, which will expire at the end of July, we can see that the biggest payday is right here at about 63,000. So there are incentives to drive the market both higher and lower. So let's just see how things go by the end of this month to get a good, clear picture.